Oh, what's going on, guys? It's Tyler here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the new classic teams that have been added to 2K this year. I'm assuming this means all the other teams are going to stay on the game, and then they're just going to add these ones. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and give it a like and subscribe if you're new here to the channel. Thank you guys so much for the support and watching my videos. It's greatly appreciated. Here we go. So I was gonna originally make a video and I left the thing on the screen like an idiot, but we're just gonna act like that didn't happen. I was gonna make a video yesterday, or 2 days ago, they said, oh hey, we're gonna have all this stuff about classic teams, and then they dropped the new legendary teams yesterday. They dropped the stuff with the legendary teams, and that wasn't enough for me to make a video on, I feel like. So I waited. That's why there was no video yesterday, or on Tuesday. And yeah, so now I have more stuff to talk about, but let's get these decades team out of the way first. So we got the 1980s team, which obviously is headlined by Bird, McHale, Magic, Moses Malone, and Jordan. The 90s team, which is headlined by Stockton, Malone, Jordan, Pippen, and Hakeem. The 2000s team, AI, Kobe, Tim Duncan, LeBron, and Shaq. And then the 2010s, which is Steph, James Harden, LeBron, KD, and Dwight Howard. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about these until I see the full team. Dwight Howard being the 2010 center feels weird. It feels like it should be somebody else, but he really is the most decorated center of the 2010s. He has like 4 All-Star appearances, a couple defensive appearances. The next guy would be Marc Gasol probably. He has three All-Stars, he has a championship now. He has all defenses, but not as many as Dwight. So I don't know. It's weird. It honestly goes to show you how little talent there has been in center the last 10 years. Just to be honest, I'm taking Moses, Hakeem, and Tim Duncan, and Shaq, and Karl Malone over Dwight Howard any day of the week, and Kevin McHale. Maybe, to be honest, I may take Kevin McHale over him too, but we're not going to sit here and argue that. That got announced. That's cool. I'm excited that we have all these old decade teams that we can play with now. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that's already in 2K. Why would you already have that? Like, you can just make that if you wanted to." Well, I'm like, whatever. You know, people are going to be upset at everything all the time. I like that they put this in there. It doesn't hurt. No, it might not be the most hopeful thing, the best feature, but it doesn't hurt. You know, it's cool to have. So let's go ahead and move on to the 6 teams they added to the game this year. The first one they went with is the classic squads. The first one is the 15-16 Cavs. Obviously, Kyrie, LeBron, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, Kyle Korver. I don't think was on that team. Actually, let's look right here. You got Jared Cunningham, Dellavedova, Channing Frye, Joe Harris, Kyrie, LeBron, Richard Jefferson, Dante Jones, James Jones, Sasha Khan, Kevin Love, Jordan McRae, Timothy Mozgov, Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, Varejao, and Mo Williams. It's an alright team. You know, I think there's teams I'd rather have, and I'll get into that. I'll definitely get into what teams I think should be on here, you know, in terms of teams they should have added. But, you know, this is an alright team, this Cavaliers team. I don't mind it. It's, you know, they did add the 15-16 Warriors. It was a little weird that they didn't add the 15-16 Cavs. So, or maybe, did they add the 15-16 Warriors, or is it 14-15? Either way, it is kind of weird that they did add a Warriors team, I think, last year, and didn't add a Cavs team. It seems like, why wouldn't you add the Cavs team, you know, because that's, both teams need each other for that era, you know what I mean? So that's the first team. It's all right, you know, it is what it is, whatever. Not terribly excited about that one. The 02-03 Suns are the next team that the next team I got. Stephon Marbury and Sean Marion are like the headliners of that team, along with Randy Brown, Alton Ford, Tom Gugliotta, Penny Hardaway when he was like washed up, still trying to play, but he was too injured. Casey Jacobson, Joe Johnson. That's going to be nice. Get to play with young Joe Johnson. Dan Leahy. My bad, got a text. Bo Outlaw, Amari Stoudemire. So we get young Amari and we get young Joe Johnson to play with, along with Stephon Marbury and Sean Marion. So this is actually going to be a fun team to play with. I don't know that I would pick this team over the Phoenix Suns, the Steve Nash Phoenix Suns teams that they have. I feel like I'd rather play with those teams. But Still, though, this is a different team, kind of a niche, little cool team. You know, Stephon Marbury didn't last long in the league, so anything with Marbury is like, that was a short period of time, and it's kind of cool to have that. Next, we're going to go over the 06-07 Washington Wizards. I think I'll go over them next. You know, it's kind of weird. 2K really values Gilbert Arenas and Stephon Marbury both, even though they're basically just like ISO scorers. Didn't really ever do much in the league. They could score a lot of points, but 2K really has like been like in love with Gilbert Arenas over the last year. I don't really get it myself. I think he's kind of overrated. People, you know, he was good, but he was never like some great, oh my god, Gilbert. He was a typical mid-2000s player. He was an ISO scorer. He just jacked up shots. That's just what he was. That being said, Gilbert Arenas, Andre Bloch, Calvin Booth, Caron Butler, Antonio Daniels, Mike Hall, Jarvis Hayes, Brendan Haywood, Antoine Jameson, James Lang, Roger Mason, Michael Ruffin, Darius Songalia, I've never heard that name before, Deshaun Stevenson, Donnell Taylor, and Eton Thomas. Obviously, Antoine Jameson's a glitch, especially if they're going to be bringing base 11 back. Gilbert Arenas, same thing. Andre Bloch, he was a decent player back then. Caron Butler obviously could fill the bucket up. And yeah, Deshaun Stevenson was pretty good back in his day too. This team doesn't really excite me that much. I think they went like 41-41, so it even makes it less exciting. It's like, okay, whatever. You know, it's the Wizards. You get to jack up shots with Antoine Jameson and Gilbert Arenas. Not too exciting. Next three, we're going to go with the 2009-2010 Portland Trailblazers. Now, this team is important because you had like half a season of healthy Greg Oden. And when Greg Oden, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Brandon Roy all played together. We're going to look this up live because I forgot to look it up beforehand. Trailblazers, 09-10 Trailblazers. Record. I'm pretty sure it'll come up because it's been a popular stat lately. Their record with all three of those guys playing is kind of crazy. Record with Oden, Roy, Aldridge. They went 50, and here it is right here. LaMarcus Aldridge, Brandon Roy, and Greg Oden played 62 games together this season. And out of those 62 games, they went 50-12. This is honestly maybe like the most underrated like super team ever. Like, look at it. LaMarcus Aldridge, Jeff Ayers, Nick Batum, Jared Bayless, Steve Blake, Marcus Camby, who is still, you know, decent, Dante Cunningham, Travis Denier, I think you say that name, Rudy Fernandez, Juwan Howard, Andre Miller, and by the way, Rudy Fernandez was looked at as like a European superstar back then. Or a European, like, oh my god, he's going to come in the league and tear it up. That's what everybody thought about Rudy Fernandez. It never happened. Juwan Howard, Andre Miller, Patty Mills, Greg Oden, Travis Outlaw, Joel Prisbilla, I think that's how you say his name, Shavlik Randolph, Brendan Roy, Anthony Tolliver, Martell Webster. This team right here, guys, obviously the role players are kind of weak. I mean, Andre Miller was good, and Patty Mills is like real young. He's not going to be very good on this team. But like Steve Blake, Jared Bayless, those are decent backups. Nick Batum can shoot. Like, this will be an alright team just based off the fact that you're going to get to play with Greg Oden, who's going to be really good on the team. He's not going to be washed up Greg Oden like on the Heat. He's going to be really good Greg Oden. LaMarcus is really good. And obviously, Brandon Roy was amazing for a short period of time. Obviously, LaMarcus Aldridge was the only guy that could stay good. The other guys got hurt and could never continue their career. But this is like a snapshot, a brief snapshot of what could have been this team right here, and it'll be fun to play with them, I think. The final two teams we're going to go over are probably two of the most notorious teams from this era, from the 2013-2014 season, the Clippers and the Spurs. First off is the Clippers here. As you can see, I'm kind of just skipping the screenshots, but there's your Brennan Roy and LaMarcus screenshot, your Arenas and Antoine Jameson screenshot, your Stephon Marbury and Sean Marion screenshot, and we already got our Kyrie and LeBron screenshot. So here is the Clippers, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. This is like peak Lob City Clippers here. We got Jeff Ayers, Aaron Baines, Marco Bellinelli, Matt Bonner, Shannon Brown, Austin Day, Nando DiColo, Boris Diaw, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Danny Green, Damian James, Otheus Jeffers, Corey Joseph, Kawhi Leonard, Patty Mills, Tony Parker, Tiago Splitter, and Malcolm Thomas. Now this, or wait, I just told you I was going to go into the Clippers, and then I went into the Spurs. So I guess we're talking about the Spurs first. This Spurs team is obviously really good. They won the championship that year. They destroyed, absolutely annihilated the Miami Heat. And it was probably one of my favorite finals of all time, just because I loved watching the Spurs play. That season started out with everybody thinking the Spurs were boring, and people like started falling in love with the Spurs style of basketball. And to me, this season specifically, the Spurs shot a ton of threes this season. And I'd have to go back at it. I kind of want to go back and compare the Spurs season this season from the seasons on, because I feel like they shot more threes this season than they have since. I feel like ever since LaMarcus Aldridge got in the team, they stopped shooting threes as much, and then especially when DeMar DeRozan got there. But this team was like, plays how the Warriors do now. Plays how, at certain times the Cavaliers would play like this Spurs team too. Not as much though, because LeBron and Kyrie always had the ball. The ball sticks to one of them. But this team right here, to me, laid the groundwork for the next decade of the NBA. Every team tried to play like Danny Green and Ginobili jacking up the threes, Matt Bonner jacking up the threes, Marco Bellinelli jacking up the threes. I mean, this team really, not jacking up is usually a negative term, but they were making them, and this team was amazing. Tim Duncan was on the decline, but he was still very good, especially defensively. Manu Ginobili was getting up there in age, but he could still shoot the lights out the ball. Tony Parker still had some quicks. Patty Mills was probably in his prime this season. Tiago Splitter was really good. He actually hasn't been in the league since. I think he played 1 year for the Hawks. But overall, this team, guys, was like an amazing team to watch. And yeah, it'll be fun to play with them. One of my favorite teams of the last 10 years, I'd say. But here we go. Now we're going to get to the Clippers. Wow. The Lob City Clippers. This team is something else. This team, what could have been with this team, man? It's like, wow. They had so many times they could have won, and they just blew it continuously throughout like a 5-year period. Matt Barnes, Reggie Bullock, Darren Collison, Jamal Crawford, Glenn Big Baby Davis, Jared Dudley, Danny Granger. I mean, look, that's already like a star-studded team right there. I mean, some of them are like past their prime, some of them more injured, but that's already like a pretty good team. Willie Green, Blake Griffin, Ryan Hollins, who's a clown, by the way. I can't stand his sports coverage. Steven Jackson, Antoine Jameson, DeAndre Jordan, Darius Morris, Byron Mullins, Chris Paul, JJ Redick, Hito Turkoglu, Sasha Vujacic, right? And Malik Waynes. Yeah, guys, you guys know about the Lob City Clippers. I don't need to say anything, but it'll be amazing being able to play with prime Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. This is a total like what could have been with this team. Never happened. They could have been great, but they weren't. But I do like the addition of the Spurs, the Clippers. I mean, they were great, but they could never get to that next step. The Spurs, the Clippers, the Trailblazers, I think I like those three additions the most, followed by probably the Suns, then the Cavs, then the Wizards. Not really a big fan of the Wizards edition, but, it's going to be cool to at least play with Gilbert and, see what he can do. But, yeah, guys, that is the video. That is the breakdown of the 6 teams. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go ahead and give it a like. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about all these different teams they added, if you think they should add some teams. To me, I think the 08, 09, or 2009, 2010, or whatever, one of those one of those back-to-back Lakers championships, they should have a team. Personally, I just feel like they were, Kobe carried the team, Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom. Kobe didn't carry the team. They had Pau Gasol, they had Lamar Odom. They had a really, 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 really good supporting cast. But that, especially since they've had the 2008 Celtics team in the game for quite some time, they should have a 2008-2009 Lakers team to play against each other, because just like the Spurs, or just like the Cavs and the Warriors, they were butting heads going to the finals. These teams went to the finals twice against each other, and that should be represented. And then, other than that, I can't really think of another team. Maybe like a Jason Kidd Suns team would be kind of cool, but that'd be kind of like lame too, because they weren't terribly good when Jason Kidd was there. But just be I'm trying to think of weird off the wall teams that would be interesting. But yeah, guys, I think that's about it. Leave comments down below and let me know what you think, what team you think you should be in the list, and maybe next 2K next year, even though this one hasn't even come out yet. And yeah, guys, that's the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one. I love you.